divine law are at the heart of all we do. Feel the joy of living from your divine identity. Hear the still small voice of your higher nature and follow its guidance. Understand that the diversity in people and in all the universe is dependent on divine ideas and divine law. There, you will find you have a greater awareness of your oneness with the world and with each other. Know this truth, that you truly do belong, as we take this understanding into the silence, into the silence. Ever so slowly, ever so gently. Unfortunately, we have to leave this place of peace. We have to bring our awareness back to this place, back to this time. Take another deep breath or two. Start to wiggle your toes, fingers, roll your shoulders. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And surprise, you're still here. Hi, everybody. My name is Bill. And I'm here to talk to you today. And I'm going to start what you might think is a little unconventionally. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, what we say in the beginning of every service. God in unity leaves no one out. We celebrate our oneness here. Our oneness with each other, our oneness with God, our oneness with the universe. And we inspire and empower personal transformation by sharing practices for everyday life. Now, this is not déjà vu. I haven't lost my mind. I have a point to make. And I'll get to that in a minute. Because the subject of today is, from the foundations of unity, the value of diversity. Unity has many values that they list, but today I'm just going to talk about the value of diversity. It seems fitting since it's coming to the end of Pride Month, where we should have been thinking about this all month. But we have been talking about how to speak unity, how to think unity. So I think this is a fitting end for our Pride Month celebration. So what is the value of unity? What does it say? Well, if you go to the Unity website, what it says is this. It says, we believe that all people are created with sacred worth. We promote greater understanding among people in a spirit of unity. Well, that sounds pretty good. I mean, as a value, it sounds pretty good. Doesn't tell you what diversity is, though. Just says we value it. So what is diversity? Well, whenever I need to know a definition of a word, I go to my favorite dictionary, which just happens to be the Oxford English Dictionary. And that definition says that diversity is the practice or quality of including or involving people from a range of different social and ethnic backgrounds. Doesn't quite cover Pride Month, does it? No. But in Unity, we like to celebrate Pride Month. We have a lot of faith in Pride Month. But so if we are to promote, as our value says, a greater understanding among people in the spirit of unity, how do we do that? What does diversity look like in action? Well, I could go and start just referencing study after study after study that have been done on diversity. But instead, I think I'm going to try to show it to you this way. Let's assume, for the sake of this presentation, that you have received a letter in the mail that invites you to a dinner. Now, the letter tells you when and where, and then it says, come as you are. So you figure, well, there's nothing I really need to do except be there on the time and date. So you go there on the time and date. And you're welcomed. You're invited in. You're taken into a dining room. And the first thing you see is you're not alone. The room is full of all kinds of different people, like this one is right now. And then you notice also that the dining tables that have been set up for you are all the same. They have the same linen, the same dinnerware, the same cutlery, the same number of seats around every table. It's all the same. And then when you're called to get the meal, they want you to go through a buffet line. So you walk over to go through the buffet line and find that everybody is getting the selections of their choice from that same buffet line. So anybody can choose what they want. Everybody has the same chances. And then you're told after you fill your plate that you can go and sit any table you want, make yourself at home, eat as you would at home. So if you use your fingers, you can use your fingers. And just be yourself. Now, in that scenario I just gave you, that includes all three of the aspects of a successful diversity. It includes aspect number one, the invitation. You're being invited to dinner. It includes aspect number two, inclusion. Everything's the same. You get the same food, you sit at the same tables, you use the same dinnerware. And then aspect number three, belonging. You're told, sit anywhere you want, relax, eat as you would if you were at home. Invitation, inclusion, belonging. Three aspects of a successful diversity. But let's say you get there to the dinner and instead of coming into the dinner, you go through the line, you get your food. Instead of saying, pick anywhere you want to sit, they escort you to a back room. Or what if you get to the dinner and as you walk in the door, they hand you a McDonald's Happy Meal and tell you the picnic tables are around back? Is that still diversity? No. Because you haven't been included and you haven't shown your belonging. And that is called tokenism. You get the invitation, but you don't get much else. So if you really want to practice diversity, you got to go all the way. All three. Which brings me back to our welcome in the beginning of every service. God in unity leaves no one out. Is that an invitation? We used to say, unity welcomes everyone regardless of race, gender, age, creed, religious background, national origin, or sexual orientation. That was a welcome. That was an invitation. We celebrate our oneness with each other, our oneness with God, our oneness with the universe. Is that inclusion? Certainly sounds like inclusion to me. And we inspire and empower personal transformation by sharing practices for everyday life. We don't always say that last part, but we should. By sharing practices for everyday life, that's belonging. Everything we have here is for you. So as you can see, we start every service with our proclamation of our value of diversity. But diversity is not just about bringing people together. It's about bringing different perspectives to the table. How many of us here have been to a community chat? How many of us here have been to a community chat where when some topic was being discussed, there was only ever one opinion? Yeah. Oh, you have? Okay, there's one.
She wasn't here for that then.
No, wasn't here.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, our community chats don't tend to be lectures. They tend to be a real gathering of different opinions and different ideas, and they seem to go on forever. But did you know that by simply adding social diversity into a group makes people in that group believe that there are differences of perspective that might exist in that group? And because of that belief, they change their behavior. Now, did I just define woke again? Simply adding social diversity to a group makes people believe that differences of perspective might exist among them, and that belief makes people change their behavior. Now, I said I wasn't going to talk about any studies, but I'm going to bring a study in here that I found online. It was done in 2006. It was done by Tufts University. They had a very interesting study. They wanted to study how juries make decisions. So they got together with a court, and they brought in real jurors, but they told them, we're going to hold some mock trials. They put 6 people on a jury. Some of the juries were all white. Some of the juries were 4 white, 2 black. And as from my previous statement about social diversity, you can probably guess where this is going. The juries that were more diverse actually deliberated longer. They understood more about what was happening in the court. Now, whether or not they came to a better decision, who knows? But the point that they want to make is that having that diversity on the jury, having those black people on the jury with a majority white, it wasn't that the black people moved the jury to a certain place. It wasn't any information that they brought with them that changed their minds. It was, as I said before, it was the mere presence of them that made the other jurors a little bit more careful in how they decided the issue, a little more open-minded about it. So that would be a benefit of diversity, would it not? A goal, if you want to say. Now, I've been talking about this, and Reverend Ron is the one that actually suggested it, is that we have our own little unity speech, a little unity elevator speech. Remember that? And I hope you're working on yours. But let me throw a monkey wrench into that speech for you. Something else to consider. You're giving that elevator speech. Who are you giving it to? Is that person an atheist? Is it a devout Christian? Progressive Christian? Muslim? Hindu? Buddhist? Is it a man and you're a woman? Is it a woman and you're a man? Does that change what you're going to say? Does that change any of your considerations of how you're going to present yourself and unity? What if there's more than one person there? Is that going to change anything? Just something to think about. And this is one of the other benefits of diversity, is it promotes hard work and creativity by encouraging the consideration of alternatives. Sometimes we get stuck in a pattern And we don't see any other alternatives until the pattern is abruptly stopped because of some outside influence. How many people have noticed we have a flag over here in the corner? You know why it's there? Yeah. It's there because federal statutes say it has to be there. Now, we don't have to have a flag in the church. But federal statutes say that if you're in a public auditorium or a church or a Unity Spiritual Center, and you do have a flag, that's where it has to be. Because that, according to the statute, is the position of superior prominence. If we had a unity flag, it couldn't go there. It'd have to go over here. That used to bother me when I was in a traditional Christian church. Because I thought, what happened to separation of church and state, you know? But since coming to Unity and releasing some of those chains from traditional Christianity and the way it's presented and the way it's practiced, getting a little bit more liberal, a little bit more diverse, that flag has come to mean a little bit more than that. I spent 23 years in the military. I saw that flag go up the flagpole in Reveille in the morning, and I saw it come down and retreat at night. I spent a good portion of my time overseas, where you don't see a lot of American flags. That flag came to mean a lot more than just our country. It came to mean what the country stands for. Freedom for everybody. Even if it's not working out all that well. That's the goal. The Statue of Liberty has a plaque that says, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free." I'm losing my voice. That may be a blessing for y'all. But I have, it's just not going to come out. But I have come to believe that this country's greatness and true genius lies in our diversity, and that's what that flag represents. So I don't have a problem with it being there anymore. I'd put it there even if it wasn't supposed to be there. And diversity is not something we're going to be able to stop if we wanted to. And there are groups in our country that are trying to stop it. The census conducted in 2020 has a very interesting statistic in it. It shows that 53%, almost 53% actually, 52.7, 53% of children under the age of 18 are from non-white families. It's already happening. How are you going to stop that? These kids are going to grow up. The numbers are only going to get bigger. So diversity, like a lot of things, isn't something that you could stop if you wanted to. And if you do it right, you shouldn't want to stop it. You should want to embrace it. And Unity does. The Unity movement stands for Unity embracing curiosity. I'll wait.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Nice tune, though. Unity embraces curiosity, exploration, and expanded awareness, which are the very gifts of diversity. Unity stands for peaceful acceptance of another's right to create the life of his and her or her choosing. Unity stands for justice and understanding and for extending compassion, kindness, and forgiveness to restore balance. And we certainly do need to restore some balance. And unity stands for inclusivity and equality. We are pledged to be an advocate for well-being, respect, and civil freedom of every human being. There's a quote that I came across in all my research for this. And the quote says, "The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those people who cannot read and write. Instead, it will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn." Diversity calls us to stop, consider options, unlearn some things, and act on our new beginning. Jesus, our way shower, invited us to see the world differently, to unlearn the patterns of our behavior and belief. And he calls us to see the divine in everybody. Thank you for your kind attention today. Namaste.
I think I'm turned on here, but we're not. There we go. I did then. Okay. Let's see. Let's try to circle the tables today as we end our service with our peace song. There. Yeah, very good. We're doing. We got it. Could you restart that for us, please? Thank you. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace peace on earth, and let it begin with me. All right, very good. And now, our prayer for protection. Whoops. We'll get there. Okay. I don't remember which number it is. Number 4.
This is not me, I swear.
Okay. That's right. If you want, we can just say our prayer for protection to end the service. Okay, Diane? We'll just say the prayer for protection to end the service. Okay. So we'll all say this together, all right? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay! Yay.